And then, well, of course, we spread them to each other in our social interactions. We carry them around the world on our flight network. We amplify them in our slums and cities that are overcrowded and don't have a lot of, infrastructure in them. And, so this process has been pretty well laid out. And, that's what I wrote the book about. So given all that, you can, if you know
Squirrel's looking for snacks.
how a pathogen
Maybe he's a
emerges, then
pregnant
you can
she.
predict where it's most likely to occur. And so disease ecologists have actually come up
Under
with
the table.
maps of the world where, they can look at, well, these are the disease hotspots. This is where, we can't surveil every microbe in the whole world, there's, obviously, but in certain places where there is a lot of invasion of wildlife habitat, a lot of slums, a lot of factory farms, a lot of flight connections, or some combination of all of those factors, you could do active surveillance for microbes in those places to look and see how are they changing and are they evolving in ways that might allow them to become human pathogens. And that was work that the U.S. government was funding up until a couple of years ago.
And any idea why the funding ended?
I think it's part of the whole kind of anti-science bias of the administration. The justification they gave was that this was a program that was housed under USAID and that was not a good fit. And I think there was a spokesperson who actually said out loud that, they were not comfortable funding that kind of, quote, cutting edge science.
You're listening to this Agency for International Development, which has been an agency that applied foreign aid for decades. You've been interviewed a lot about the coronavirus, and one thing I've heard you say is that what we take out of this will depend upon the stories that we tell ourselves. And when you look at the divergent and competing narratives that we see, it's pretty striking. You have one side saying, well, this came from China or may have come from China, even perhaps a Chinese government lab, and that the administration's response was swift and effective, and the death toll is probably inflated, so it's not actually that bad. And then another side that has a completely different view. I'm wondering, are we going to end up with an accepted understanding of what's happening?
I mean, I think all the stories that we're telling right now conform to a basic narrative, which is that we have been invaded by this intruder, whether we say it's a Chinese virus or it's from Wuhan or, from some other place, maybe it's a bat or some strange eating habit or some, something outside of us. There's this sense of us being the passive victims of these invasive germs. And I think that kind of paradigm of, I call it kind of microbial xenophobia, it's rooted in our history of how we've treated contagious diseases. It's rooted in germ theory, the advent of scientific medicine and all of that. And it's helped us in a lot of ways with antibiotics and vaccines. We think of the microbe as this invasive contaminant and then we target it with killing chemicals. But what it obscures is our own role in creating the opportunities that allow microbes to turn into pathogens and to spread between us. And the problem with that is right now, we have this new pathogen here. We're not going to have drugs and vaccines to save us from it in the short term. What we need to do is change our behavior. But the way we talk about the pathogen really obscures the role of human behavior in all of this. So I think that is something that we need to kind of grapple with.
Right, and so how do we need to change our behavior?
A lot of ways. I mean, I think we need to look more deeply at the way we're interacting with nature. We need to look more deeply at the crisis of biodiversity, which is really the fundamental driver of all of these spillover pathogens coming into human populations. I mean, it's not just the novel coronavirus, it's also Ebola and Zika and HIV in the 1980s and West Nile virus and new kinds of Lyme disease, tick-borne disease. We have a whole sort of host of these pathogens that are coming out of animal populations into humans because we are destroying wildlife habitat at such a huge rate. We're losing 150 species every day. So this biodiversity crisis is the fundamental driver. So we need to, I think, look at that more deeply and consider human health to be connected to the health of our livestock, our wildlife, and our ecosystems more generally.
We need to take a break here. I'm just going to reintroduce you. Sonia Shah is a science writer and author of several books. The latest is The Next Great Migration, The Beauty and Terror of Life on the Move. We'll continue our conversation in just a moment. This is Fresh Air.
And this is WAMU 88.5. Good afternoon. It's about 1:15.
How's the squirrel?
The systems that protect
How's the cleaner?
why misconduct procedures are rarely enough.
Thanks for getting the deck for me.
Using excessive
I would have had to broom it off by myself.
on the daily.
But you did such a good job.
On air at WAMU
I will invite you back.
and online at
Maybe we'll even put some nuts out on the porch for
Maybe
you.
your internal monologue has gotten noisier lately. NPR answers the pandemic
Bye for now.
questions buzzing around